Now, how many properties bringing in $250 net per month per unit would you need in order to retire? If you came home to a spouse every single day that praised you for the sacrifices that you made, the work that you had done, how would that make you feel? Would it make you feel like you're on top of the world, like you could accomplish anything? Or like the long work days, that time that you put in building your real estate portfolio was worth it? Your commitment to rental real estate, to buying deeply discounted properties and keeping them as rental properties, has finally paid off. You have enough money coming in passively that you don't have to worry about work. All you have to do is manage the properties or hire a third-party property manager to do it for you, and you can enjoy time with friends, family, loved ones, take care of the kids, take care of each other, and ultimately be extremely happy with your life. Now, in this video, I am going to show you how, by using the BRRRR method, by buying, renovating, renting, refinancing, and repeating the strategy over and over again, you can achieve financial freedom in less than 5 years. And I'm going to walk you through the steps in the process with a recent property that we purchased that will ultimately lead to you being able to achieve your financial freedom number in shorter time than you think. So without further ado, let's check out the property right now. Welcome to 207 East Huron Street. This is a duplex we bought back in October, and we're still in the process of remodeling this place. So as you can see here, we're mid-remodel, but I'm going to take you through this property. I'm going to show you what we've done so far, what still needs to be done, and run through the numbers, the scenarios, and tell you at the very end of this video how much cash flow this is going to produce and how many of these properties you would need in order to achieve financial freedom for yourself, your spouse, and your family all together. So let's jump into it. So first, let me get into a little bit of detail on this particular property. I'll break down the metrics of it. So it's an upper-lower duplex, and currently I'm in the lower unit. This particular unit is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath that we're hoping rents out at $800 or $900 once it's completely remodeled. The upstairs unit's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, about 600 or so square feet that we're hoping rents for about $500 or $600. So a total of about $1,400 to $1,500 a month in cash flow. Now you might be wondering, Carter, how much did you pay for this place? I'm not going to get into how much we paid just yet. I will here in the next couple minutes, but we plan on sticking about $52,000 into a remodel into both of these units and the entire exterior. And now you might be thinking, well, what do you all need to do? Well, we need to completely remodel this lower unit, and the remodel is extremely sophisticated. We have to do an entire kitchen remodel, which is going to cost us about $4,000 or $5,000. We have to remodel the entire bathroom, new sink, new vanity, new toilet, new tub surround, which is about another $2,500. The entire place needs new flooring, needs new paint, trim work. It was very rough when we bought it. It was actually an eviction scenario. We had to patch drywall in a majority of the place just because it was in such rough condition. They never took care of it. And the past tenants put holes everywhere. It smelled like cat odor and dog odor. It just was not well cared for. So once this unit's done, we'll have about $15,000 to $20,000 in this one alone, which again is a significant amount of money, but we didn't have to replace the windows. We just had to do a major cosmetic rehab when it comes to redoing pretty much everything in here. Now the upper unit's a little bit different. I won't give you a tour of that one because we have people out there working, but the upper unit needed flooring, it needed paint, it needed a similar structure to this. We just refinished the cabinets up there. We didn't want to replace them all, but we do have to redo the entire bathroom. So it's a significant rehab there as well, but hopefully at the end of the day, we'll be all into this property for a $52,000 in rehab, which included new siding, new window wrapping, new exterior doors, and ultimately it looks much, much cleaner than it did prior. So hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks we can have this project completed, but let me tell you a little bit about the renovation process for those of you that are wondering. Now on the renovation side, we actually have our property manager doing this main floor unit, and it has taken weeks and weeks to get things done. Now we had a few delays and there's a few unknowns, but with property managers doing renovations, it typically takes a little bit longer and it's a little bit more expensive versus you outsourcing the job yourself and being the general contractor on it. Now, one of the nice parts with the property manager is we are very hands-off on this lower unit remodel. We just pick and choose a few different things. We pick and choose the cabinets, the floor colors, the wall colors, and they take care of everything from there. So it's extremely convenient for us because we are really not having to deal with a ton of the renovation side, and once they're closer to completion, they will start the lease up process and hopefully get a tenant in here shortly afterward. Whereas the upper unit, we're fully hands-on up there. We're sourcing our own contractors, we're painting it, we're doing the remodeling process, we're laying flooring. We are doing that to get it leased up. It goes a lot quicker, but again, if you don't have the free time or you're looking at doing this more so on a passive side of things, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, then you might want to find a property manager who has a great renovation team that can do work for reasonable enough. And the last thing I want to say about the rehab process is you are better to do the full rehab up front than save a couple dollars here and there and then have to stick money in down the road, because that will eat up your cash flow, especially on these smaller units. So what we're doing is we're replacing pretty much everything: new kitchen cabinets, new flooring, newer windows, new appliances, new furnace, air conditioning, and newer water heater, just so we don't have to do it down the road and we can have a pretty much a maintenance-free rental property for years to come that produces a ton of cash flow. Now let's get into the rents again on this place. Like I had mentioned before, we're hoping for $1,400 to $1,500 total for both units. Now you might be thinking, Carter, how much are you into this? Or what is your total cost basis into this property, which is where it gets very interesting. So this lead came to us through our Google PPC marketing, and we ended up buying this property for $40,546. So we are going to stick in more money in a renovation than what we paid for this place, but that's why we were able to buy it at such a deep discount or such a low dollar amount. So when we went to the bank to get the loan on this place, we ended up getting one of our commercially financed loans, like I've mentioned in past videos, for $87,000. So it included the purchase price, it included most of the renovation costs, and we only had to bring about $8,000 to closing in order to purchase this property and get all of those rehab funds up front. So this is a little bit different than the conventional BRRRR method where you buy it for cash or hard money loan up front and then you refinance it down the road, because our commercial purchase, what we're doing is we got the entire loan up front. It's interest only for the first 6 months, and then it transitions into a 20-year note that's locked in for 5 years at an interest rate of about a 4.35%. So how much can we expect to make from this particular property? Well, our mortgage, with it being right around an $88,000 or $87,000 mortgage, the payment, insurance, taxes, and interest and everything like that comes out to about $780. Now, if we make the assumption that we get $1,400 per month in gross rent, minus $780 a month in principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, minus property management and miscellaneous other expenses that we would be responsible for, we can expect to make a net of about $500 per month in cash flow. Now, how many properties bringing in $250 net per month per unit would you need in order to retire? Or how many would you need in order for your wife or spouse or husband to retire? Calculate that number out and make that your goal. Whether it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it'll probably be quicker than what it would take for you to work in a traditional W-2 job for 30, 40, 50 years in order to retire. Now, we plan just to repeat this process over and over again, acquiring more rental units throughout our area, and you can do the same thing for yourself. You can either start marketing for deals like I've showed in past videos. You can start buying from wholesalers, which is another great method, but just make sure to run your numbers, make sure it cash flows enough, make sure you're at a low enough loan to value, and you will be able to build a cash flowing system that'll allow you financial freedom, that'll allow you to retire yourself, your spouse, whatever you wish to do in years to come. And lastly, if you want to learn how to acquire off-market deals like this one, watch my recent video on Driving for Dollars right here, and you can learn our systems and processes for finding these deals and ultimately cash flowing monthly.